In this video, I will be demonstrating how to install TransAT on a Linux operating system. What we'll first need to do is download TransAT from the ASCOMP website. Under the product suite, we'll go to the Download Center and click on the TransAT suite. In addition to TransAT, we can also download the installation manual for Linux. This will be important in providing instructions and the necessary commands for installing TransAT. Once we click on the TransAT download link, we'll be brought to a login page. If you have not registered with the ASCOMP community yet, you'll need to do so and wait 1 to 2 days before a confirmation email will be sent. Otherwise, you can log in. This will bring you down to the download window where we can download the Linux version of TransAT. I've already done so and saved it in my downloads folder. Before we can begin to install TransAT, we'll need to ensure some software dependencies are met. Through a package manager in the command line, we'll need to ensure some packages are installed. Through Ubuntu, I have the package manager apt-get, which if you are not familiar, you'll need to use sudo to have root privileges, apt-get, and the command install to install the following packages, or at least to make sure they're installed. These include GCC, and you'll be prompted to input your password. In addition, you'll need G++, G-Fortran, GNU Make, which is listed under Make, Library Standard C++, which is under the name lib std C++ 6, and we'll want as well the developed version of this. Now this can come under different names for various Linux distributions, so we'll press tab twice to check what is available. And what I want is Library Standard C++ 6-4.7 develop. So I'll enter this in and ensure that it's installed. Additionally, we'll want a package for exporting images, and what I will install is library png 12, and I'll see what's available is 0. And additionally recommended is GNUplot and gzip. Once these softwares through the package manager are installed, we'll need to have OpenMPI and PETC installed. To download OpenMPI, we'll open up an internet browser and go to www.openmpi.org. Under Download, we'll go to version 1.5, and we'll want version 1.5.5. We'll download the tar.gz file. Likewise, we'll download PETC through www.mcs.anl.gov/PETC. Under Download, we'll download version 3.2-P7. Once these are brought into the download folder, we'll move the archives to our software folder. My software folder is located under Home, My Name, Software, a directory I've created. And I will move PETC to that location as well. Now I will move to that software directory and unpack the archives using the command tar xcvf and then the name of the archive. Now it is important through this installation process that any of the commands in the installation manual are not directly copied from the document. This could result in some typographical errors. Therefore, I recommend to type in every command directly with the keyboard. and I will unpack PETC as well. Now we will begin by installing OpenMPI. So I will move into the OpenMPI directory and set an environment variable so that I can run the configuration file. The environment variables I need to set are as follows. Now I can run the configuration file with the additional parameters as follows. And I will define a prefix where OpenMPI will be installed to. And I will wait for the configuration file to run. Once the configuration is finished, I will enter in the command make to build OpenMPI and wait for this to complete. Now that the build process is finished, we can install with make install. And now that OpenMPI is finished installing, we'll change directories to PETC and install this. To begin, we'll run the configuration file with some settings. So type in the following command. And now I need to direct PETC to the OpenMPI that I just installed. And define a prefix for PETC to be installed into. And I will confirm quickly that I do not have any errors in my command. Once the configuration of PETC is finished, it will prompt us to build PETC, and we'll use this command here. So in this case, I will directly copy it from the prompt, as I know it is correct here. Now that the build for PETC is finished, we can install with the command that is prompted at the end. And again, I will copy this one and enter to install. With installation complete, we can do the test that PETC recommends to confirm everything was installed correctly. and the test examples are completed, so PETC was successfully installed. Now with OpenMPI and PETC installed, we need to set some environment variables so that they can be used in further processes. So I will change to my home directory, and I will edit my bashrc file. The bashrc file is a file that contains settings that is loaded upon the start of the computer or on the start of the terminal. Alternatively, you may be using a C shell, and you will then have a CSHRC file. Also, the bashrc file may not currently exist, but you are able to create it if it is not there. Using a text editor of your choice, I am using Vim. You can edit the bashrc file, and anywhere, preferably in the bottom, you can add some lines to add some environment variables. This is again an important place where it's important to directly type in the environment variable and do not copy from the installation manual, as you will likely make a typographical error in copying. This is a environment variable for OpenMPI, and likewise I will set a path for PETC. Oh, I'm sorry. This should not be path, this should be PETC directory. And we will save and quit the file. Now I will enter the command source.bashrc to update the bashrc file, and I will confirm that the paths were correctly set with the command which, and I will use mpicc to confirm that the mpicc being used is that in the OpenMPI directory. I will repeat this for MPIC++, and I will echo the PETC directory and list what is inside the PETC directory. This confirms that OpenMPI and PETC environment variables are all correctly set. Now we are ready to begin installing TransAT. So I will move to the Downloads folder, and I will move my TransAT archive to my software directory. Now I will change to my software directory and extract TransAT. Now for TransAT, I need to set some environment variables, so I will go back to my bashrc file and head to the bottom so I can set some variables. And rather, this is a little bit more tedious to type out. I will rather go to the location of the folder where I will be setting the path to, which is software, TransAT, TransAT MB, bin, and I will type pwd to display the location of the directory. I will copy this, and now I will go in to edit my bashrc file. I will export a path, and now I can paste in this location I just copied and add a path. I will repeat this, but then change from MB to UI and enter in again path. I will update the bash RC file, and I will use the command which again to confirm the paths are correctly set. What I will check, the executables that I can check include TransAT UI.py, tmb init compile.py, run init.py, tmb run.py, tmb link.py. With those all correctly displaying the locations, I know that the environment variable was correctly set. Now I'm ready to link TransAT using tmb_link.py. I wait for the executable to be created, and to confirm that it was created, I will use which TransAT mb dp, confirming that TransAT was correctly built. Now the final step, if you are using a full license of TransAT, is to set the directory for your license. I have already received my license from an email and put it into my downloads folder, but I will move my license to a different location that I have access to. So I'll move that also into my software directory. And the TransAT license is set with an environment variable in the bash RC file. And I will go to the end, and I will set the license by typing in export TransAT LIC equals home Andrew software, and then the name of the file. With that finish, I can update it one more time, and I can use the command transat UI.py to confirm that TransAT was successfully installed. Thank you for following along the tutorial. I hope you were successful in installing TransAT and can begin using the software.